This is the OnePlus 8T. And yes, I did just make a video about the OnePlus 8. Things have changed. Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another video. My name is Nikos, and today we are talking about the OnePlus 8T. Why are we talking about this? Well, I just made a video about the OnePlus 8, and I said, hey, it's a great phone for somebody who wants to just get an upgrade, move into a newer phone that isn't like the flagship, that isn't the top of the line, but does the job great for the next couple of years. Now, the OnePlus 8T came into my hands because we were having some issues with the other phone, and it kept giving me an error with the power cord, I guess, and connecting to the actual phone and or the battery. So I was thinking about what I'm going to do with that. And while I was online, I see the opportunity. This was on sale, so you're able to get it in Canadian it's $629, but it's $500 for USD. So I mean, for $500. This is hands down better than the OnePlus 8 for $500. You know, if you're looking at it, like it's a no-brainer. So, what are we looking at in terms of why this is still good in 2021, and why it will be still good? It is like still efficient at what it does. Like you can get a flagship phone, and you can get some other phones that are hitting the market in the next couple of years. Will you see a significant jump in the quality and the efficiency in the idea of what a better phone is? No, it's not going to be so significant that you're going to be like, oh my God, I can't believe I have been sticking around with this other phone. So this is where we're coming from. It's budget, time, energy, and money. And when you're looking at it, is your efficiency going to go up by using this phone? And the idea here is, yeah, it will. They've made this phone nice, it's smooth, it's quick, you get the job done, and on top of that, you don't have the issues you would have with an older phone that you might be coming from, say, like me with the Samsung S10. And of course, there's other features with that jump to the S20 and on with the 5G and the screens and this and that. So let's talk about a little bit about that. And of course, the idea here, the premise of my whole journey with smartphones, I'm supposed to get a phone on Black Friday. My mother's phone, it crapped out. We need to find a solution for her. So this is why we started looking at different phones, and we came to the OnePlus 8. And you know, this is she's loving this now. This is great. I got to test it out for a bit too, and I can't complain. Like this is hands down worth it. Worth it. Let me tell you why. So first things first, when you grab this phone in your hand, it actually is more comfortable than the OnePlus 8. Okay, it is more comfortable. The edgy curves on the OnePlus 8, I found it was too sensitive. I guess there's a setting in there to change it, but this is just, it's more comfortable here, and you can use it with one hand, and it's great. The back is more of a glassy material on top of the same kind of material, I think, that the OnePlus 8 had, but they made it more glassy here. So you're going to put a case over it, so it doesn't really matter. And for $500, doesn't really matter. No. The idea of this phone with the look and feel, it's great. It just holds nice. We're good to go. The screen, this is actually 120 hertz versus the 90 on the OnePlus 8. So for the money that you're spending or investing, the idea here is that the screen is better. The 120 hertz is much nicer than a 90. And if you're coming from a phone like the Samsung S10 that I have to a screen like this, or going from 60 to 120, it is an improvement. Now, is it night and day? No. You look at it and you go, well, this is a faster phone either way. And yeah, like it's responsive. It's really nice. And when you're doing most of the stuff you're doing anyways, like watching videos and doing all that stuff, it doesn't convert to 120 hertz anyways, where the experience is that much better. So, but overall, worth it. It's worth the jump. It is worth the jump. When you're looking at this in terms of battery, and this is the most critical thing, this is a warp speed, and it's great. Like, I mean, like you plug it in and it's charged. Like you literally go to do something and you come back and you're like, oh, look, I got enough battery for the next 4 hours. You leave it in a little bit longer. Oh, look, it got to like 80. Oh, look, it's at 100. Okay, we're good to go. Like my mom's been using it, and I'm like, just test it out. Like I want to make sure the battery's working, this and that. And she's charging it, and she's like, what do you mean it finished? And I'm like, when did you put it on? Like, did you time it? She goes, well, no, I didn't have time. I just I put it down, I charged it, I started charging it, I walked outside, came back in, it's done. And that is like night and day. That warp speed, 65 watts, great. And I mean, that is just great. So that idea alone is awesome. When you're looking at testing the battery on these, there is 2 batteries on here. So if you're going to use one of those Accu batteries or anything like that, softwares to test if the battery is good, you won't get like the reality of the 2 batteries in there. It doesn't recognize it. So you're going to get half the amount of what you know the battery is at, which is like I think 4,300 or whatever, 4,500. So just keep that in mind if you use any of those softwares, so you're not sitting there going, oh my god, I got a bad battery. Now the camera is better, but just like my idea of what I shared with you in the last video with the OnePlus 8, is it night and day? No, they've added another camera on here, and they've made it like, you know, more structured, and it's just kind of like more of a, let me just make it a little bit better because it's the T version. It's not going to be a game changer. You're not going to be looking at this and going, thank God I bought the OnePlus 8T versus the OnePlus 8 because this has the better cameras. It's just a little, it's a fraction a little bit better. The selfie too, like, you know, you're sitting there, you're like, why couldn't they put a better camera on this, like on the front? But is it better than most phones? Yes. And is it up there with the other phones? It comes close. It's not the best, but it comes close. And if I compare this with the OnePlus 8, it's not night and day. It's very, very limited. So if you're looking at it and you're saying, I'm going to buy this phone because I have the OnePlus 8, I want to upgrade to the OnePlus T and sell my phone, you're not going to get that, you know, big push that you wanted to. Now, when we're looking at the 9 versions that came out this year, is there more of an appeal there with the cameras they have on there? Yes, and it might be that the new marketing ploy they use and with the new features with joining forces with a camera company, maybe that is a game changer. But I mean, that's kind of like, I looked at some photos from the Samsung S21 Ultra, and yeah, they are better than the S20, but is it night and day? In my opinion, no. Can you get the work done you need with this camera? Yes, I can shoot video on this and throw it onto YouTube, and you wouldn't know if it was a Canon or if it was this, because at the end of the day, it's going online and it's going to be truncated anyway. So don't stress the camera that much, but know that you're getting at least good enough quality. So when these big reviewers are going all out on this testing and they're showing you these minute changes in the contrast, I mean, it's minute and you can fix it in post if anything. We get it. All right, it's not going to be the same. So enough about that. You are getting still a good camera. It's not like you getting a crappy camera, right? That's how I feel about it. This is what I'm explaining to you in terms of $500. $500. Let's keep that in mind. Now, the last thing I want to just reference with this phone and overall, the 5G. Okay, this 5G, just like the other phone, and I look at this and I say to myself, it is not changing anything overall. I'm bringing this up like I did in the last video, in case you didn't watch the last video. 5G, I was expecting it to be a night and day kind of thing, and it's not. Now, it might be because I live in Canada and the monopoly of the carriers aren't allowing the speed to go fast, and they're just kind of like growing it slowly. It might be that these phones can't equip that, but I'm pretty sure the bands aren't lined up with getting the full advantage of the speed. Can you hook this up and have this connect to your router with Wi-Fi 6 and have a gigabit speed downloading to the phone? I got this up to 800 megabits per second. So, I mean, you can, right? When you're looking at it from connecting this as a hotspot, my laptop does way better with any kind of 5G network. So take that with a thought process when you're looking at it, in case you're thinking about, hey, I'm going to upgrade and I want to go into a 5G phone because that is the goal. So overall, when I'm looking at this phone, great phone, overall, I'm really happy with it. And for $500, you can't lose. You can't. So something to think about. Something to put into perspective. You're going to be looking at this and you're going to be saying, well, I'm going to be using this over the next 2 to 3 years. Break that into years. So for me, it was $629 plus the tax is $700. So I'm looking at this, hey, I spent a little bit more money, but I got a better phone. Okay. And at that, you're looking at it and you're going from the specs. This one has more RAM in it, and of course, it's got double the amount of hard drive space. So I can load up way more things in this, and that is the idea where I'm looking at it and saying, was it worth the money overall for the $150 that is going to go up? Yes. And when I'm looking at that split over 3 years, totally worth it. Put that into perspective when you're thinking about buying a new phone, whether it is now, through the next couple months going into Black Friday. Put a perspective on any phone you're buying. Look at the pricing, look at the features, and then ask yourself, what is the next 2 to 3 years looking like for you and that price point? So for questions, comments, concerns, discrepancies, leave a comment below, hit that like and subscribe, and of course watch these 2 videos.